Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I feel very fortunate to be here again to speak about the all attractiveness of Krishna. So the pre-Janmashtami theme, and I was told that somebody else was meant to speak, some senior devotee, they couldn't make it, so I'm just doing some backup seva again. The topic I've been given is how Krishna attracts everyone. It's actually a very beautiful topic, and there are many dimensions to this topic. We find in the 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna interacts with different devotees based on their attraction for him. So, almost reflecting the mood of the devotee and interacting based on that mood. Like he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. Now we know that relationship with Krishna is eternal. Every living entity in this universe, and for that matter all universes, all of the gazillion universes, all living entities have a direct relationship with Krishna. We know it from Madhya Leela, chapter 20. The verse number is really nice, 108. So you can't forget. Chapter 20 was 108, Madhya Leela. It says, what's the verse? Jivera Swarupahoya Krishner Nityadas. So we are all connected with Krishna. In some cases, the attraction may not be evident. The attraction towards Krishna may not be established fully. But the relationship is already there. Everyone is an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, is that the 10th canto? I'm okay. I've got the verse here. So, Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, text number 7. Is it text number 7? Mamai vamsho jiva loke? Jiva bhuta sanatana. So, Krishna says, Mama eva amshaha. Mama, my, eva, certainly. Amshaha. Certainly, every living entity is an amsha, a spark, who is emanated from me. There's a big fire, and then there are sparks coming out from fire. So Krishna is qualitatively like fire. Sparks are also fire, but quantitatively they are not fire. Right? So they are minute. Similarly, innumerable living entities are emanating from the Supreme Lord. And these innumerable living entities, the amshas, mama eva amshaha, Jiva loke, in this material world, Jiva bhutaha, those who have taken this body, Sanatanaha, they are eternally connected to me. So because of that eternal connection, there is certainly some inherent attraction, although we might not see it always. And that attraction that one has towards the Lord is known as rasa. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said, Raso vai saha. He is indeed rasa. And in fact, in this world, all that we have is nothing but rasa. So when Srila Prabhupada writes in the, Srila Prabhupada writes in the introduction to Nectar of Devotion that what drives a philanthropist to do humanitarian work, what drives a family man to work for the comforts of his family, what drives a businessman to expand his business is rasa. Some taste, Prabhupada says in the introduction. Only if one has some taste, then one would do these activities. So in case of Krishna, and there's a beautiful verse, chapter 43 of the 10th canto, text number 17, which is the text that we've got up there. It speaks about how when Krishna was in the wrestling arena, he was invited by Kamsa, he was invited by Kamsa to fight. And he had traveled from Nandagaon, and he was brought over by Akrura. As he had entered, he had already been greeted by Kuvalaya Pida. You know who Kuvalaya Pida is? The mad elephant, Kuvalaya Pida. It is said that Kuvalaya Pida had so much strength that simply with his tusk he could crush the Diggajas. Diggajas in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find that there are 8 elephants who are balancing the plate of this universal creation. Like if you have a plate that you need to balance, you put some objects or some feet below it to balance it. And the plate of the universe is balanced by the 8 elephants called the Diggajas. So these 8 elephants, they can balance the entire universe, and yet Kuvalaya Pida had the strength that simply with his tusk he could crush each one of those elephants. He was that strong. His name is also very interesting, Kuvalaya. Kuvalaya means a white lotus. And Apida. Apida means one who loves to crush. So one Acharya says that an elephant who likes to crush lotuses. The meaning here is he is just so arrogant and mad that even something that is completely harmless, he wants to destroy. Something that is beautiful, he wants to destroy. Another meaning which is given in the Madhava Sampradaya of Apida is the crown, is also known as Apida. So Kuvalaya Apida means one on his crown on his head is decorated with white lotuses. So whichever it was, Kuvalaya Pida was there to greet Krishna and Balaram. And what did they do? They greeted him well. Krishna The same tusk of Kuvalayapida with which he can crush the Diggajas, the 8 elephants that hold the universe, that powerful. With the same tusk, Krishna at once pulled it from the mouth of Kuvalayapida, and with the tooth extraction, the dentists, they do teeth extraction. I got a tooth extracted by his dad, actually. And when the tooth was extracted, some of my jawbone also came along. And I was asking him, well, is this something I need to worry about? He said, no, it'll grow back, it's fine. But then I read that sometimes if the extraction is not done properly, the entire jaw can be misplaced. In fact, the nerves can tear and the person can die. And that's exactly what happened with Kuvalayapida. Kuvalayapida's jaw with his skull was cracked by Krishna when he pulled the teeth. The big tusker. He was the big male tusker. And because it was such a wonderful, entertaining act, when the tooth came out, Krishna put his tooth and he started walking around with his tooth, and the blood that gushed out splattered on Krishna's body. So he was covered with the red marks. So this kind of Krishna approached the wrestling arena. And there were different people in the wrestling arena, the observers, who were seated there anticipating Krishna's arrival and Balram's arrival. So as Krishna approaches the arena, we have in this verse one word or one line at a time we'll say, Mallanam Ashanihi. So Malla means what? One who does Malla Yuddha. These are wrestlers. Malla means wrestling. I heard once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was talking about how he was a wrestler. Can you imagine that? Yeah, his wrestling matches. And he used to win the matches. From that day I saw him differently. Of course he's not going to wrestle with me, but so Mallanam, amongst the wrestlers, Ashanihi. So we will see what Jiva Goswami says in Laghu Vaishnava Toshini. Baldev Vidyabhushan says in Vaishnava Nandini, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Saharartha Darshini. And of course, Shukadeva from Nimbarka, Vijayadhvaja from Madhva Sampradaya, and Girdharalal from Rudra Sampradaya, they all speak. Actually, the commentary on this verse alone is in about 30 to 40 pages in Sanskrit, full A4 size. So if you were to translate, it'll go about 100-page commentary because it's so deep. Anyway, we'll scratch the surface. We only have about 30 minutes. Mallanam Ashanihi. Ashanihi means the lightning. So these wrestlers, when they saw Krishna and Balram, they had Krodha as their Sthai Bhav. Sthai Bhav is the mood that one carries constantly. It's called Sthai, means constant. So for example, Mother Yashoda's Sthai Bhav is Vatsalya, because that's the mood she constantly carries. Srila Prabhupada explains beautifully in the Nectar of Devotion the different aspects of rasa. Rasa actually is translated as mellow, sometimes it's translated as taste, sometimes it's translated as essence, sometimes as relationship. But the real understanding of rasa, how many of you have some understanding of the description of rasa as per Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? What are the components of rasa? Yes, David? What are the components of rasa? How does one experience rasa?
I just thinking of devotional mellows.
Devotional mellows, yes.
Yeah.
Bhakti rasa is called devotional mellows. Because actually Rasa Shastra is spoken by Bharata Muni also. In fact, he first spoke the Rasa Shastra, but Rupa Goswami speaks about Bhakti rasa. So the title of the book actually, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is very important. Anyway, I'm digressing. But rasa has certain components. Anyone here understands rasa? Can you? Yes? Kanchana Prabhu. What are the components of rasa? Oh. Activities, yes. Yes.
They're both made up of activities.
Absolutely. So, that's correct, Maharaj. So, rasa means activity. And Srila Rupa Goswami actually breaks it down further. How this activity produces rasa. What are the components of rasa? Do you want to say something, Panchatattva Prabhu?
There's the ashraya, the shelter.
Very good.
The vishaya.
We're getting there, yes. So who is Vishaya?
Vishaya is the recipient, the one who's experiencing the pleasure of that rasa.
Vishaya is the object, is Krishna. Ashraya is the shelter, the recipient of the experiencer of the rasa. So in case of Mother Yashoda and Krishna, Vishaya is, in fact for Bhakti rasa, Vishaya is always Krishna. In one sense. Although it's further divided into alambana and uddipana when it comes to vibhava. But anyway, you go on, you tell me. So it's ashraya and vishaya, the object of attraction and the experiencer of that attraction. So for example, if I'm eating a gulab jamun, who is the object and who is the receiver? The object is the gulab jamun, the receiver is Karthik Chandra Das. So there is the vishaya and there is the ashraya. Okay, that's right. What else is there in a rasa? So if there are two things, the object and the receiver, will there automatically be rasa? What else needs to be there? Maharaj already hinted, there is activity. So before there can be an activity, an experience of rasa, certain elements have to be in place. What are these elements? First of all, there has to be sthai bhava, yes. Huh? Uddipanas. Now let's do it, let's not haphazardly, if we do then we'll not understand. So first of all, there has to be a sthai bhava. So let's take Mother Yashoda and Krishna. Her sthai bhava means the constant emotion she carries is that of vatsalya, motherly emotion. So because of that constant emotion, the primary emotion, she is always going to look at Krishna with love, with rati. And that rati is in everything. All the five, we know the five rasas, right? Primary ones. What are they? Shanta. Oh, you want to go to top down? Yeah. Madhura ras. Vatsalya. It's Sakhya ras. not Sakya, Sakya, then Dasya and Shantaras. Each of these rasas have a sthai bhav, which means the constant, inherent mood of rati. So each of these are also ratis, love for Krishna. Love for Krishna in Madhura mood. Love for Krishna in parental mood. Love for Krishna in friendship. Love for Krishna in servitude. Like that. These are the different ratis. So you have sthai bhava. Between Mother Yashoda and Krishna, sthai bhava is that of Vatsalya. But that alone will not produce anything. You have to have some activity. And what is the activity going to do? The activity is going to create temporary emotions. For example, suppose Krishna is crawling towards fire. And Mother Yashoda is sitting. What is that going to produce in Mother Yashoda? Fear, anxiety. Now, her primary mood is not she is always fearful or always anxious. Her sthai bhava is vatsalya. The vyabhichari bhava, there are 33 of them. 33 different. It's also known as sanchari bhava. The 33 transitory emotions that a person feels because of the interaction between the ashraya and vishaya is the transitory emotion, let's say of anxiety, Mother Yashoda feels, is vyabhichari bhava. Now for this anxiety to be felt, there needs to be a fire. There needs to be Krishna there. And Mother Yashoda has to be there in that scene. Correct? And so the fire which produces, which creates this mood, which produces this mood or emotion, that fire is acting as a vibhava. Vibhava means a stimulant or a catalyst. So whenever there is an interaction between two personalities, the environment is a catalyst. Sometimes, like for the gopis, for example, when Krishna left the rasa dance, then the catalysts were the deer, the female deer. The catalysts were the trees who were bending. The catalyst was the moon. So catalysts can be anything. All the elements of the divine Leela are catalysts. That's why Baladevji, Lord Balram, is Sandhini Shakti. He is the one who creates all the catalysts for the Leelas to happen. That is why Balramji appears before Krishna. That's why in the womb of Mother Devaki also Balramji appears prior to Krishna appearing. So you have sthai bhava, you have vyabhichari bhava, you also have the vibhava, which is the catalyst. And after there is a catalyst, what is Mother Yashoda going to do? Is she going to just sit there and keep watching Krishna approaching the fire? Immediately she will respond. And this response is known as anubhava. Anubhava means response. There are some other subtle elements which, so for example, vibhava is divided into alambana and uddipana. I don't want to go into that because I will drift away from my topic. So I'll stick to this much, but this much needs to be understood, that there has to be a base mood and then there is a transitory mood. So having understood this, looking at this verse, how everyone's attracted to Krishna. Some positively, some not positively. In fact, Jiva Goswami in his Laghu Vaishnava Toshani, he classifies these 10 individuals who are present in the arena into 4 categories. The 4 categories are: 1, those who are atheistic, those who are envious of Krishna. 2, those who are indifferent to Krishna. So they are ignorant and indifferent, like the agnostics. 3, those who have knowledge of Krishna as the Supreme. And 4, those who have love for Krishna. And actually, this verse shows how each one of them, Krishna is the same object, he is the same Vishaya. And yet, depending on the Ashraya and the Sthai Bhav that is there between the Ashraya and the Vishaya, each one is experiencing a different interaction. Are you following? Yeah. So we'll go to the sweeter aspects now. This was the technical tattva. Mahaprabhu has said that one should not do alas. One should not be lazy when one does tattva vichar. So if we understand tattva, we'll develop deep faith. So much is tattva. Now, Mallanam Ashanihi. For the wrestlers, Chanura and Mushtika. Chanura literally means one who crushes into powder. So already Krishna had killed Kuvalayapid. Now Chanur is the next person greeting Krishna. And Mushtika. Mushtika means one who loves to punch. This is Mushtika. When you make a fist, in Sanskrit, Mushtika literally means fist. So he was always even standing like this. He's just ready to punch, ready to crush. So Chanura and Mushtika, when they looked at Krishna and Balram, what did they see? They had the bhava, the sthai bhava that they had was of krodha. Krodha meaning anger. They immediately felt anger. And because of their anger, they wished to kill Krishna. But when they actually saw Krishna, they felt that they are going to fight with lightning. Ashani. Ashani means lightning, thunderbolt. Can the greatest of wrestlers fight with a thunderbolt? Not possible. So they are looking at Krishna, they are thinking, here come the thunderbolt, here come lightning. That's how powerful they look at Krishna and Balaram. Actually, the word Ashani is very interesting. Shani means slow. That's why the planet Saturn is known as Shani, because he walks very slowly. Ashani means very quick, who strikes very quickly. So Mallana Mashanir. The wrestlers, they thought, we are going to deal with lightning. Nrunam Naravaraha. Amongst the men who had gathered in Mathura, he appeared to be the best of men. So Jiva Goswami says that, and actually Sanatana Goswami also in his Vaishnava Toshani says that a man is considered to be attractive if he is courageous. And looking at Krishna and Balram having the courage of entering into the arena, all the residents of Mathura, they felt attracted and they thought, here are two individuals who are the best of men. So the same personality, Krishna and Balram, are looked at by the residents of Mathura as Nrunam Naravaraha. Naravaraha, the best of men. As they entered into the ring, the fighting, the wrestling ring, Kamsa, who was seated and was really eager to see Krishna and Balram crushed in front of his eyes, as they entered inside, he saw Krishna and he saw death personified. So, even before Kamsa, sorry I jumped. It says, Strinam smaro murtiman. The women who were seated, so who are the women? The women were the Yadu queens. Kamsa's sisters were there. Then some of the elderly gopis, whoever was there in the arena to watch the wrestling match. Sorry, not the elderly gopis, the young gopis. Strinam smaro murtiman. They thought Krishna is Cupid personified. Murtiman means he's taken a form of smara. Smara is Cupid, the god of love. Why is he known as Smara? Huh? So attractive that you think of him? It's the other way around. One of the weapons he has is smara. For lust to arise, one simply needs to remember something and the lust will arise. Srila Prabhupada once gave the example. He said, just like in India there are bed bugs in some places, and during the winter these bed bugs miraculously disappear. And when summer arrives, they resurface and start biting. Similarly, whenever the condition is right, lust which is deep within the heart might come up and become evident. And that process is simply, it always starts with this smara. Smara means remembrance. Remembrance of someone, remembrance of some circumstance, remembrance of something related to the object of lust. And then lust arises. That's why Strinam smaro murtiman, the women folk who had pure love for Krishna, they were experiencing Madhura Ras. The first Malla, they were experiencing Raudra Ras, which is the secondary rasa. The Nara, the ordinary people, they were experiencing Adbhuta Rasa, which is also a secondary rasa of astonishment. The Strinam Smaro Murtiman, who thought of him as Cupid, were experiencing the rasa of Madhura or Madhurya, as we call it. Then the next is Gopanam Swajano. The Gopas who were sitting. So who are the Gopas? Different friends of Krishna. Sridama was there, Sudama was there, Ujjwala was there, Arjuna was there, Bhadra was there, Stoka Krishna was there. So many names, we can go on. They are all different friends of Krishna. Sridama is the leader. Sridama is the foremost of the Gopas. And they experienced two rasas. They experienced Hasya Rasa, which is one of the secondary rasas. And they experienced also Sakhya Rasa, the rasa of friendship. Why did they experience Hasya Rasa? Because as Krishna approached the arena, because he had just killed the elephant, he was walking with the tusk, with blood splattered all over his body. He was walking like an elephant. He entered the arena like an elephant, walking like an elephant. And Lord Balram also entered the arena walking like an elephant. And hence, they all laughed. So the Gopas, they started laughing in happiness. Just see, Krishna has now appeared like an elephant in the arena. And he's going to crush the egos of these wrestlers. So Krishna, the same Krishna, Gopanam Swajana, he is one of us. In fact, the Gopas were thinking, we wish Krishna and Balram invite us as well into the arena. We can also, do some helping hand. When these wrestlers are beaten up, we will also help. Asatam Kshitibhujam Shasta. Asatam, those who were not having sat, which means those who are not devotees. Asatam kshiti bhujam. Those who had encroached on earth, Jiva Goswami gives a meaning as those who encroached on earth forcibly. These are the kings like Shalva, kings like Dantavakra, kings like Kala Yavana, Shishupala. These were kings who were supporters of Kamsa. For them, they saw the same Krishna as Shasta. Shasta means the punisher, one who is going to punish them. So we can see the same Krishna is being looked at by different individuals in a different mood. And the mood that they had is that of Viraras. They wanted to fight immediately these kings, impious kings. Swapitroho Shishuhu. Sanatana Goswami gives two meanings here. Swapitro means both Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva were in the audience. It also means Devaki and Vasudeva were in the audience. Pitro can also mean father, mother. Pitro can also mean both the fathers. They were in the audience, seeing Krishna entering into the arena. And immediately they felt Shishuhu because of Vatsalya Ras. And because of Karuna Ras, which is secondary rasa, they felt, here is our little child. It's so unfair that he is being positioned in front of these two mountainous wrestlers. Mrityuhu Bhojapatev. Bhojapati, Kamsa, he is the lord of the Bhoja dynasty. When he saw Krishna, he thought, Yamraj is personally coming to get me. He could see Krishna as Yamraj himself. Virad Avidusham. Those who were Avidusha, the priests of Kamsa, who could not recognize Krishna, the residents, supporters of Kamsa, who thought of Krishna as an ordinary person, they saw Krishna as Virat in his, what is Virat? The universal form. So they saw Krishna as just his universal aspect. So this is in the mood of Bibhatsa rasa, which is one of the secondary rasas. And then Tattvam Param Yoginam. Those who were indifferent, those who were knowledgeable of Krishna as a supreme person, the yogis, they saw Krishna as the supreme truth. Tattvam Param Yoginam. So it apparently seems that Sanakadi Muni, they were also observing the arena, because both Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Jiva Goswami say the four Kumaras were also present in the audience. So for them, Krishna was simply the Lord, the Supreme Lord. Vrishninam Paradeveti Paradevata iti Paradevateti. Vrishninam, amongst the Vrishnis. Who are the Vrishnis? So from Yayati Maharaj you have Yadu. Yadu Maharaj's dynasty, you have the Vrishnis, and from Vrishni you have Shurasena. Shurasena's son is Vasudeva, Kamsa, Vasudeva. And Vasudeva, and also Nanda Maharaj is also connected because from from the same Vrishni dynasty, you have Parjanya Maharaj also. So both Parjanya, the grandfather of Krishna, and Shurasena, they are brothers. So Shurasena's son is Vasudev and Parjanya's son is Nanda Maharaj. Parjanya Maharaj has 5 sons, one of which is Nanda, Upananda, etc. So in that sense, Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva are cousins. So Vrishninam, for all the Vrishni clan, Paradevata iti, they thought of Krishna as the most worshipable amongst them. Vidito rangam gataha sagrajaha. In this way, depending on the mood that the individual personality is carried, Krishna appeared in these 12 rasas. So these 12 are also divided by the acharyas into 4 categories, those who are hostile. So even atheists are connected to Krishna. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, are atheists attracted to Krishna? Do you know what Prabhupada said? Yes, they are also connected to Krishna. They are connected to Krishna through their animosity. Because they are so envious of Krishna, that's a connection, that's their attraction. They are always eager to disprove Krishna, to disprove God. I once had in my school days, I had a debate in which I was on the side of the theist and there was another group of boys. It was a boys' school, so I was on the side of the theist. The other group of boys they were on the side of the atheist. And the topic was prove the existence of God. You know, children do these kind of debates. And I was already a devotee then, so everyone argued. So it was like you have to present one argument at a time, and then you get the last person to argue. So I was put as the last person to argue, and I said, well, let us first see if you, Mr. Atheist, agree to these points. Number 1, do you feel attraction for someone who is most beautiful? All the boys, they said, yeah, beautiful, yes. We feel, and it was the year when one of India's, models, she had acquired the Miss Universe title. So all the boys knew that girl, that lady's name. So I said, yeah. Atheists also said, yes, we are attracted to the most beautiful. Then I said, are you attracted to the most powerful? The atheist said, yes, we are attracted to the most powerful. Are you attracted to the most knowledgeable? Yes, we are attracted to the most knowledgeable. Are you attracted to the most famous? Yes, we are attracted to the most famous. What else is remaining? Are you attracted to the most renounced? Yes, we are attracted to the most renounced. One more I missed, I think. Are you attracted to the most beautiful? No, I said that. Most wealthy, opulent. Are you attracted to the most opulent? Aishwaryasya samagrasya Vishnu Purana. So are you attracted to the most beautiful? They said yes. And then I quoted Vishnu Puran. And I said, Krishna is Bhagwan. He has all 6. So you are attracted to Krishna by definition. So they said, oh, you tricked us. I said, no, this is true. If you are attracted to all the qualities, then you are indirectly attracted to God. You are not directly attracted because you have no understanding. That is your limitation. But you are indirectly attracted. So even the atheists are attracted to Krishna, but their attraction is a rebellious attraction. The agnostic and the ignorant people who pretend to be indifferent, they are also attracted to Krishna, but there is a detached attraction that they have. They seemingly don't want to have anything to do with God, but how do they get attracted to God? It's mentioned there, the third line, Virat avidusham. Those who are ignorant, even they are attracted to the nature. So even if you talk to those who are agnostic, they will appreciate nature. Yeah, we think everything is done by nature, automatically. Srila Prabhupada called it the post-dated check of the scientists. Dr. Thodam Singh, which is Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. I happened to spend some time with him in Juhu, serving him, 1995. And then 1996, he had the World Consciousness Conference. Beautiful. Where the chief guest was Charles Townes. Charles Townes is the guy who invented the laser. He was a Nobel laureate. He invited a few Nobel laureates, Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. And so I was engaged in serving those Nobel laureates. As I was in the Brahmachari ashram, I was serving them prasadam. It was fun. And Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj's conversations with Prabhupada, he is pretending to be an atheistic scientist or an agnostic scientist. And he asked Srila Prabhupada on the morning walk on Venice Beach, California. He asked Srila Prabhupada, so there is no soul, there is no need for consciousness. Everything's just made of chemicals. Life is nothing but chemicals. So Srila Prabhupada said, so why don't you make a fly? Why don't you create a fly in your laboratory? So he says, yes, we can do that. I mean, we have just started to create some amino acids in the laboratory. And through these amino acids, they are the basic building blocks of life. We'll be able to create the cells, and through single cells, we'll then create multicellular organisms, and we'll be able to create life very soon. And Srila Prabhupada said, yeah, that is simply a post-dated check. We will do. We will do. It's simply a post-dated check. Because all that, and then Srila Prabhupada said, if I give you a check for $1 million, dated year 9999, what is the value? Post-dated check. So actually, factually speaking, life only comes from life. Life doesn't come from matter. If one is sober, if one is honest, one will accept. If one is dishonest, one will not accept. So, this way, even the atheists and the agnostics are attracted to Krishna. I do want to end by saying, how can we develop our attraction for Krishna? Anyone? We only have about 5 minutes left. Yes? By serving Krishna. Yes. By serving Krishna. Yes, David? By hearing about Krishna. Okay. How do we develop that Krishna prema? What's the quick, easy way of doing developing Krishna prema? Mercy of Guru. These are all right answers. Yes, chanting, somebody said. Who said chanting? Yes, correct. That is correct. What else? I'm looking for a specific answer which was given by Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. By preaching, by sharing. So we all know this verse. Madhya Leela chapter 22 verse 128 and 129. What is that? Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtana, Bhagavata Shravana. Sadhu Sangha, by association of devotees, by valuing the association of devotees, by seeking out the association of devotees, we develop our love for Krishna. Number 2, Nama Kirtana. By chanting the holy names of the Lord. Bhagavata Shravana, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam attentively. Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana, by residing in the Dham. Now, of course, Mathura Vasa, Srila Prabhupada has made it easy. Srila Prabhupada says, if you worship Srimati Tulasi Devi, it is considered to be as good as Mathura Vas, worshipping of Tulasi Devi, because she represents Vrindavan. Mathura Vas literally means staying in Mathura. So we don't have to empty all our temples and go and stay in Mathura. Yeah, that's not the idea. So Mathura Vas can be achieved by worshipping Tulsi Devi. And 5th is Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. The most important ingredient in deity worship is what? Is it the beautiful jewelry? Is it the nice clothes? Is it the offerings that are made? Is it the mantras that are chanted? Is it... Mahaprabhu gives the essence. It's the Shraddha. Shraddhaya Sevana. The essence is the faith. The ingredient that the Lord accepts is the love. The currency of exchange is the love. Everything else is incidental. It's by the by. It's the conduit. It's the vehicle. But the essence is love. Like if a postman gives you a parcel, if the parcel inside, the box inside is empty, there's no value. Right? It's not the box that's important, it's what inside the box. So the essence of deity worship is Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana. And the next line, and I'll finish there. The next line, he says, Sakala sadhana shrestha ei pancha anga. Of all the sadhanas, these 5 are the most important. Why? Krishna prema janmayai pancher alpa sangha. With alpa sangha, with even performing these 5 little bit, with a little attachment for performing these 5, Krishna prema janmai. Krishna prema will arise in our hearts. The attraction for Krishna will arise in our heart. So in summary, we saw what the Rasa Shastra says, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, about how the 4 elements of rasa come together to produce rasa. We then saw each one of these 10 personalities, they exhibit the 5 primary rasas and the 7 secondary rasas. The same object, Krishna, is looked at by the different Vishayas, same Vishaya Krishna, looked at by the different Ashrayas, based on the rasa. They are looked at differently. One comment I do want to make, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakuri clarifies that those who are experiencing negative rasas, like the Mallas, the impious kings, Kamsa, and the ignorant people, these 4, their rasas are not real rasas, they are rasabhas. Because real bhakti rasa can only be experienced if one has positive rati, positive love for Krishna. So their rasa is only rasabhas. So we saw that, and then we ended by understanding how we can develop attraction for Krishna. Oh, of course, we also saw how the atheists are also attracted to Krishna in a rebellious way. The agnostic and the ignorant people are also attracted to Krishna in their ignorance, through being attracted to nature and the universal form. And devotees are attracted to Krishna in love. And those who just know Krishna plainly, like the 4 Kumaras, they are attracted to Krishna as a supreme person, without having any of the 5 exchanges. So in this way, we summarized this topic today. Thank you very much. I was not meant to be speaking, so forgive me if I didn't speak up to the mark. But thank you very much. Any questions, comments, or corrections? Especially corrections. Yes, Prabhu?
Yeah, do the demons, do they benefit in any way by thinking about Krishna all the time?
Sorry, the first part I didn't get.
Do they try to make it part? Do the demons benefit by thinking about Krishna?
Do the demons benefit by thinking about Krishna all the time? Yes. Yes, they do. And I think the more intensely they think about Krishna, the more they benefit. However, their benefit is only going to get them closer to Krishna gradually, in a very slow manner. So, bhakti is defined as anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. One should perform bhakti anukulyena. Anukulyena means in a favorable manner. So only when it is favorable, it is called bhakti. If remembrance of Krishna is there in envy, with like the demons remembering Krishna, it's not classified as bhakti. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. One question about this text 129. It says even Alpa Sangha with these 5 elements can give Janma to Krishna Prema.
Correct.
But we, or at least I have been doing this for some time. Why Krishna Prema has not yet taken Janma? What is missing? So,
Yeah, that's a nice question. That I've been doing this for a long time, practicing. So why the Krishna Prema Janma has not taken? The reality is, Janma is, the conception has already happened. But the fruit has not yet been seen. Last time, I believe, Prabhu asked similar question. Let me tell you this very nice, quick pastime. Yeah, since you asked. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and you have to listen carefully to be able to appreciate what the essence is. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had a disciple who was suffering from dysentery. We call it loose motions, yeah. And he was losing so much fluid that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, you please at once take him to the Kaviraj, to the Ayurvedic doctor, and please get him treated, otherwise he might die. So they took him to the Ayurvedic doctor, and the Ayurvedic doctor gave him a medical prescription, and he said, this medicine should be taken with 1 spoon of ghee, and you should gradually increase the amount of ghee intake until you, within 2 weeks' time, can drink 1 cup of ghee. So the devotees came back, and before they could administer ghee, now you know if you've had dysentery, if you're having loose motions, ghee is just going to make it worse, right? So before they could administer, the disciples, they were bewildered about the prescription. So they went to Srila Prabhupada, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and they said, Prabhupada, Kaviraj is saying we should give him ghee. I mean, is this right? And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, this is perfect. You don't understand, but as this devotee keeps drinking ghee, slowly and slowly, maybe initially his dysentery will become worse, as the body will purge even more. But as he consumes ghee, the inner lining of the stomach will be rebuilt with the right kind of bacteria or whatever microbes we call. And as he keeps consuming more and more ghee, the inner lining of the stomach becomes stronger, and ultimately he will have full digestion, he will recover. So he said, similarly, all those who are following this process of devotional service, initially they might have no experience of how it is acting. But over time, if we keep taking the ghee, the 5 things, in alpa sankhya, in slowly, small drops, then one will come to a point to realize it. Also, in the Krishna killing Kaliya, in that pastime also, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, in his commentary, he says that as Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya, first only poison came out from the mouth of Kaliya. Yeah, even before he could start glorifying with sweet words, only poison came out. Similarly, when initially one starts performing devotional service, a lot of filth which is there from lifetimes is getting purged. So these 2 examples, we should still continue. I just heard yesterday, Yadubhar Prabhu was in one of the temples, I believe in California, and he was chanting his rounds, really like intently chanting his rounds. And Srila Prabhupada passed by, and he saw Yadubhar Prabhu just chanting his rounds. And Srila Prabhupada commented to the disciple, the disciple who was with him. Srila Prabhupada said, he is fully engaged. So if you're chanting, that's full engagement. If you're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, that is 100% Krishna consciousness. If you are worshipping Tulsi Devi, that's 100% Krishna consciousness. If you are worshipping the deities, if you're doing these 5 fully, you're fully engaged in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we think, oh, he's just chanting. It's not just chanting. Yeah, that's full engagement. Because I remember another time when Prabhupada visited the manor, there was a devotee who was standing just outside. I believe his name was Tanu Madhya Prabhu, or I could be wrong. And he was just so overwhelmed by Prabhupada's presence. He was standing there, and as Prabhupada would step out, he would pay obeisances. And every time Prabhupada would leave, he would just pay obeisances. And every day he was just doing that, paying obeisances. Prabhupada never noticed him. Finally, at one point, Prabhupada noticed him and said, why don't you do something useful? So that is not engagement if you're just standing, doing obeisances. You have to do these 5 activities, it's fully engaged. So, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
It's a beautiful word. I'll memorize it today.
Some in the wrong way. So they're all affected. Also, this is the only verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, the only verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, which has all the 12 rasas. Why not 10? Not 12. Because